Okay. So clustering introduction. Shall I move on? Everything fine? Everything is fine? Shall I move on? Yes, please respond. Shall I move on? Please tell. Shall I move on? Everything is fine. Any kind of problem is not there, na? Speak anyone? I'm not able to
No problem.
hear. Okay, fine. No problem. Thank you. So, clustering introduction. See, what is basically clustering is in that we are going to see a cluster. We will analyze the cluster and then we will see types of data in cluster analysis. When we go for clustering, we see what are the various types of data that are used in cluster analysis. It is not only the case that we have only the numerical data that we are going to see in the cluster analysis. Then we will see the major categorization of clustering method. There are various categories in which we can categorize the clustering methods. We will see them one by one. The various clustering categorization methods will include partitioning method, hierarchical method, density-based method, grid-based method, or we can say model-based clustering methods. So what all are these? These are the various categories of clustering methods. In that category lies some of the methods, or you can say some of the algorithms. Okay, so remember, if someone asks, okay, discuss any clustering algorithm coming under the partitioning method. So remember, you must understand what is the meaning of partitioning method, what are the various algorithms that comes inside partitioning method, and then you have to discuss any one of them. So this is very important to understand how it goes on, and then what are the various algorithms that are coming under it. So we will see one by one. Firstly, I am going to show you something why we are going to study this clustering. Any queries, please? If you have any queries, if there's any of the queries, stop me right at that point. Okay. So
Queries
write in
still.
the chat box. Any query? No query. Nice. So see here, what basically our clustering is. अभी तक हमने classification देखा. Then what is this new thing clustering? So clustering means you are clustering the objects which are similar to each other. When we talk about cluster, we always talk about the objects that are similar to each other. We say that, oh, see, that's a cluster of birds. It means in that all the birds will be similar to each other. Oh, see that is the cluster of so and so on. तो ये जो चीज है that is clustering. What it is doing there? It is helpful in pattern recognition, for spatial data analysis. We have seen all these things in image processing, in economic science, especially when we have research of the market trend. What kind of thing it is going to help in the marketing? See, if a person or a firm or you especially you are interested in finding group of customers with similar behavior, means the customers who have the same purchasing or you can say selling or buying anything, they have same similar behavior. When you are provided a large database of customers, okay, so this kind of thing or this kind of application, it comes in the marketing, which is helpful in finding or grouping the customers that is based on the properties of their past buying records or behavior. In biology, if we are Classifying plants and animals according to their features is also an application of clustering. Okay? You are grouping similar things into one another and then you are putting a class over there. So it's a classification, but first you arrange the things that are similar to each other. In library, we have book ordering. In insurance, identifying group of motor insurance policy holders with a high average claim cost, identifying certain fraud. So these all are again the applications of clustering. Would you want city planning? Means you want to identify group of houses according to their house type, their value, economic value, their geographical location, etc. You want to study the earthquake, means which are the more prone areas where an earthquake may occur. So clustering observed earthquake epicenters to identify dangerous zones. So earthquake studies are there. Then WWW, that is document classification, clustering weblog data to discover group of similar access patterns, etc. It means grouping of similar things together is basically our clustering. In a simpler words, just remember this. Clustering is grouping of similar objects together. Okay, so fine, I'm moving on. If you have any query, you ask it. Now, what is a good clustering? We always talk about design, then we say that what is a good design. So, you have applied clustering and you want to know that okay, whatsoever algorithm I have applied, this clustering as an output, what I have got the clusters as output, they are good quality or not. So how you will judge it? See this. A good clustering method will produce high quality clusters. High quality clusters. What it means, the clusters have high intra-class similarity. Means within the class, the objects must be, you can say, very close to each other. They must be very similar to each other. But when we talk about the members of other class, okay, there is low inter-class similarity. So if you talk about the similarity between one cluster, members of one cluster to the members of other cluster, it will be very low. So suppose there is a algorithm which is used to isolate your class into two groups, two clusters based on some certain similarity. And what happened? The result of it comes out to be a boy and a girl. Means all the boys were grouped together and all the girls were grouped together. So you will see that all the boys, they are in a single group. They will have high intra-class similarity. And when it comes to this uh, group of boys to group of others, you will observe they have low interclass similarity. That was the meaning of a good clustering property. Okay. So fine up to here. Any queries? Yes, please respond. So up to here it is fine. We have 35 participants. Okay. So see the next part. Please tell if there is any technical difficulty or shall I move on? Everything going fine? Please respond in the chat box. Everything going fine? It means by I am audible, the content is visible, there is no any query, kind of with the technical part. Okay. So Ayush Dwivedi, thank you. So things are going well. Okay. So I'm moving forward. So the quality of clustering depends on appropriateness of method for data set. जितना ही बेटर आपका appropriate data set होगा, ठीक है, that will give the quality cluster. So your data set must be appropriate. Second thing, the dissimilarity measures used. Here two things are there. One is similarity and one is dissimilarity. Can anyone guess what is if D is dissimilarity? Then what is the value of similarity? Suppose I I got to calculation and I found the dissimilarity and I am indicating it as D. Now I want to know the similarity between two objects. Then how can I know it? Uh, Hello. So content is visible. it is visible. You have responded me. Okay. So let us proceed further. So I was talking about this clustering requirements, dealing ability to deal with noise and outliers. It means our clustering algorithm must also be capable enough so that if there is some noise is what? Any object that should not belong to a particular group, but it is anyhow present over there. That will be termed as outlier. So in a group of we can say uh, furnitures, if there is a dog, we will say that that dog will doesn't belong to this particular group, and we will treat that as an outlier. So what is the meaning of outlier? Is that anything that doesn't possess the similarity with the other members of the group. So high dimensionality, interpretability, and usability. So these are some of the clustering requirements that must be fulfilled. Now, what happens inside when our clustering algorithm executes? So now we are going to talk about the structure of the data. So data structure in our clustering. So remember one thing, for that we are going to make a matrix, and that matrix is known as data matrix. See, in this data matrix, we'll observe that everything is in the form of m cross n. M is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So we are going to calculate one thing that is known as dissimilarity matrix. What dissimilarity indicates here is that if I am talking about two objects, okay, and I want to find the similarity or dissimilarity between these two objects, then it is computed or calculated like D21. So please see here, D32 indicates what thing? D32 indicates the dissimilarity between the object 3 and the object 2. Am I clear at this point? So if I ask one more question, what will be the dissimilarity of 2 comma 3? Will it be equal or it will be different? So my question, please respond. It's a very important concept to understand whether this D3 comma 2, let me type it, D3 comma 2 equals D2 comma 3. Is it true? Is it true or not? Or what? Please respond. D3 comma 2 equals to D2 comma 3. Is it true or false? Arya, waiting for your response. So very simple question. Please, Arya. The statement D3 comma 2 equals to D2 comma 3. Is it true or false? D is our dissimilarity matrix. Arya, I am not getting any response. What I can assume, nothing is clear to you? Arya, I think false. Ayush Dwivedi has indicated false, and rest. Now, please tell me. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, stop. Okay. It is true, right? D is indicating dissimilarity between object 3 and 2, and D is again indicating dissimilarity between object 2 and 3. So, if you calculate the distance between Kanpur and Delhi, is it equal to the distance from Delhi to Kanpur or not? So, if you are calculating the distance factor, distance from Delhi to Kanpur, Distance from Delhi to Kanpur remains same. Vice versa. In vice versa condition also. Is it clear or not? The distance from Delhi to Kanpur remains same in the vice versa. If you are taking the distance from Kanpur to Delhi or Delhi to Kanpur, same? Yes, sir, it is clear. Okay. Thank you. You've responded. So that's why this is same. Now, why I have asked this question? See, when it is maintained in the matrix, you see here the diagonals are zero. Now it's again a question: why the diagonals are zero? Why the diagonals are zero? Very important thing.
सेम नोड से सेम नोड की डिस्टेंस इक्वल होगी ना तो सब जीरो होगा
जीरो होगी आपसे ही आपकी डिस्टेंस जीरो होगी दिल्ली से दिल्ली कितनी दूर है जीरो कानपुर से कानपुर कितनी दूर है जीरो ओके सो ऑल द डायगोनल्स विल हैव वैल्यू जीरो clear very nice so all diagonals will have value zero one more thing very good so please pay attention what D21 and we are not calculating D12 because they both will be same. Fine. Now see one more thing. If we are going to check the quality of the clustering, then we have to measure the quality of clustering. And that we can do with the help of dissimilarity or similarity matrix. So listen one more thing. Similarity is expressed in terms of distance function which is typically a metric di comma j. What di comma j is indicating here, what is the distance between object I and object j. So those who are not responding, please unmute themselves so that the voice may be clear. Okay? Background sounds can be eliminated. Participants, mute off. So there is a separate quality function that measures the goodness of a cluster. What is that? The definition of distance functions are usually very different for interval scale, Boolean, categorical, ordinal, and ratio variables. So if we talk about distance functions, so it is different. It is not the case that one statement is applicable at all the places. So definitions of distance functions are different for interval scaled, Boolean, categorical, ordinal, and ratio variables. It is hard to define similar enough or good enough. ये बात ध्यान दीजिएगा. We cannot simply define it that it is enough. No, or it is good enough. It is very subjective kind of thing. So there is always a chance of improvement. What here is indicated. Now we are going to talk about the different type of data that are used in clustering. It is not only that you are given numerical data, okay, and you are about to ask cluster the following into 3 clusters or 5 clusters using blah 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 algorithm of cluster. So typically, when it comes to you as a question, it is asked in such a way because you are capable to deal with the numerical values easily. But in a real scenario, it is not the case. The clustering, the data types used are different. So in university examination, you will see a very simple question like what are the different types of data used in cluster analysis. So at that point, you are required to explain the various types of data that are handled by the clustering algorithm. So we are going to see them. The one is known as nominal data or categorical data. Nominal means you are providing name. Remember the things? Nominal means name, category, boy, girl, age, this kind of thing. Here you are providing name. The other is interval scaled variable. Interval scale variable means it will follow certain kind of intervals like 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30. Okay. Age you have divided, like income you have divided. So these things will happen. So interval scale variables goes like that. Ordinal, which imposes order. They are with numerical values. Numerical values. Binary variables, all of you know. Binary variables are the variables which have got two distinct values, 0 and 1, and mixed type also. So here we have seen these are the various types of data that are used in our cluster analysis, and we are going to see them one by one. Is it fine? So you can remember the things like in clustering, we have dissimilarity. Dissimilarity is the measure of distance between two objects. If we want to find the similarity, subtract subtract dissimilarity from one, you will get the similarity. So nominal, interval scale variables, ordinal, binary variables, mixed type, these all are the various data that are used in cluster analysis. See how we are going to deal with them. So first thing, nominal data we are going to see. Okay? Nominal. Let me check in the chat box everything is going properly. Is there any confusion? Any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So it's a check whether the things are going proper or not. So thank you. So we are going to see the nominal. Nominal means it is imposing some category kind of thing. So see very important thing. A generalization of binary variable is under your nominal. It can take more than two states. Binary variables can only take two states, 0 and 1. Where it is nominal or you can say categorical, किस category को belong करता है, general terms we talk like this. So it can take many variables, more than two states. The example includes red, yellow, blue, green, black, etc. Now into this, if we want to find the similarity or matching kind of thing, we have two methods. Okay? The one is simply called the simple matching method. So what we are going to do with this simple matching method is here it is showing that this similarity between two objects I and j can be calculated by p minus m upon p. Now the question arises what is p and what is m. M is the number of matches means common between object I and j is m, and p is the total number of variables. जैसे हम बात करते हैं शादी के गुण मिलना, ठीक है, जब आप समझ जाएंगे तो जितने मिले दैट इज m नंबर ऑफ मैचेस, और जितने गुण हमने स्टार्टिंग में लिए, जितने गुणों पे हमने मैच चेक किया दैट इज p. So p is here the number of variables. Now am I clear? Any confusion? So this similarity between I and j can be calculated like this: p minus m upon p, where p is the total number of variables on which we are going to check the matches, and so M is the actual match between the object I and J. Further any query? Okay, thank you. So everything is clear. Now let us move forward. Method 2. Use a larger number of variables. Yes, anyone is asking something? Okay. So use a large number of binary variables. How you can do it? You can create a new binary variable for each of the m nominal states. When it comes to interval scale variables, you see there is a interval. Calculate the mean or absolute deviation These things you see by your own. I'm not going to read the equations for you. Okay. If further any query, then you can ask. Then we have ordinal, where we impose a order kind of thing like rank, all that. The formula is given. And basically, I will deal with this part, similarity and dissimilarity between objects. How we are going to calculate the dissimilarity between two objects, and I will give you one example here. A binary variable you will take, and I will show you how to find the dissimilarity between two persons by giving a chart of various tests conducted between them. You can take this, you can relate this example with the results of coronavirus test. We are taking persons like Jack, Mary, Jim, Ram, Syam, etc. Blah blah blah. We are taking their gender. Now we are finding what is the condition of fever, what is the condition of cough. Then we have performed other various tests like test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. And based on this observation, we are going to check which persons have the similar kind of medical reports. किन लोगों के बीच में सिमिलैरिटी ज्यादा है, तो जिन लोगों के बीच में सिमिलैरिटी ज्यादा होगी वो एक ग्रुप को बिलोंग करेंगे. दैट इज आवर टारगेट. So that I will show you in the next lecture. So I request you just go through this point, that what are interval is scaled. I have told interval means interval is there, ordinal means you are imposing order. Similarity, dissimilarity, I always talked about. These are the equations, how to find the similarity and dissimilarity, and this numerical problem I will discuss in the next class. I have just stopped here because I want to make you clear about first this type of data in cluster analysis, and when it is completed, then this how you are going to check for this binary variable. Okay, so fine. Now I request all of you to write your attendance in the form of name followed by roll number. Okay, so I'm getting it, and now I welcome again. If up to here you have any query, anything you want to discuss, please feel free and ask the them. 41 approximately 40 students. So any query? I'm waiting. Otherwise, only I will be speaking. So it is not required. Just